Welcome in. Welcome back. Brand new Sarah Fraser Show podcast. I'm Sarah. If you're new to discovering the podcast, we're thrilled you're here. We call ourselves the Frasiacs, and I basically drop a daily pop culture show every single day on my podcast. I've been podcasting for 8 years. Some people know me. They go, wait a minute. I feel like I've heard your voice, bitch. Where have I heard you? I used to be on the Kane Show. It was a syndicated radio morning show out of Washington, D.C. with Kane and Sammy and Eric and Mel for years, almost 7 years for that number one show. And then I left that, worked for Fox 5 DC in a brief stint with Sarah, Ty, and Mel in the DC region. So that's probably how you know me. I've done appearances on Married at First Sight. I was never on Married at First Sight, though. A lot of people think that my husband and I met on that show. We did not. And every once in a while, people go, wait a minute, was that you in HBO Crashing, episode 7, with Pete Holmes and Jessica Kirson? I'm like, yes, I played a radio DJ. Welcome. So look, we cover what people are talking about, whether it's pop culture, sometimes it mixes into the political, but for the most part, I provide escapism. Today, we have two huge topics to discuss. Number one is sister wives. There is lots of sister wives tea, including one of the sister wives is writing a tell-all book. Excuse me? Is this finally Mary Brown? Is this finally the tell-all book that we deserve? I'm going to tell you why I'm not so thrilled about this tell-all book, because I actually don't think it's going to be that juicy, and I'll go into why. Fans are also coming for David Woolley, Christine Brown Woolley's husband this week. We'll get into that. And then there is huge news out of the whole Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Justin Baldoni drama. And that is Colleen Hoover, who's the author of It Ends With Us. Colleen may have deleted her Instagram, but girlfriend has been very busy on Facebook. Okay, she's been in the Facebook chats. And Colleen has some things to say to podcasters like myself, to influencers, to people who are on TikTok. For all of us, Colleen is not happy with the podcasters. And then we also know that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds next week are going to be asking a judge to dismiss Justin Baldoni's case, $400 million lawsuit against them. And Blake Lively herself, now isn't this fascinating? Isn't this interesting? Blake Lively herself, her attorneys have requested that Brian Friedman, the absolutely brilliant attorney for Justin Baldoni, they have asked that Brian Friedman does not depose Blake Lively. Now, isn't that fascinating? Why? Excuse me. I thought he's been sexually harassing you. What you got to hide, girl? What does it matter what attorney deposes you? If you got nothing to hide, why are you worried about you don't want Friedman? I think because we all know Friedman is savage. Okay, Friedman, I don't even know if I want to go to a dinner party with Brian Friedman. You know what I'm saying? That man, what's he coming up with? So we have to get into all that, what Colleen Hoover said, all that good stuff. But let's talk about the tell-all book that Christine Brown Woolley is coming out with. And I'm going to be honest, I want this to be so juicy, but I don't see how Christine Brown from Sister Wives is going to write a juicy tell-all when she is embroiled in a custody lawsuit with Kody Brown. How is this going to be juicy? Okay, so here's what we know. Sister Wives star Christine Brown is ready to spill the tea in her upcoming tell-all book, Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom. What is the book about and when does it come out? Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom is described as, quote, a groundbreaking and heartfelt memoir about living in a family like no other and finding the strength to leave Mormonism and the only life she's known behind, according to Simon & Schuster. Huge deal, by the way. So Simon & Schuster has paid Christine. Now, I have told you guys, they all are rich, and they are about to be even richer in the next couple of years. How do we know this? Mary Brown's taken out over $1 million in loans for her Parowan, Utah projects. Kody and Robyn have now bought over a $2 million home. I have heard from family members and people that are very, very close to them who say they basically are always overextended, but they're bringing in big money, okay? And this is a Simon & Schuster project. Christine is making bank. The book will mark the first time Christine Brown has shared her journey that led her away from the Mormon church and the bold path she is carving to live apart from all she has ever known. The first time, excuse me? I thought the whole thing, I thought she was on a reality show where she's supposed to be telling us like her whole truth and nothing but the truth. Excuse me? So obviously there's things that Christine in her journey away from the Mormonism church hasn't shared. And isn't it? I mean, the Mormon church must be freaking out between Heather Gay and now Christine Brown. They all love to write. Look, I'm a Catholic. We got our own problems, but the Mormon church can't be happy. Okay, right? Everybody's writing a book about how awful the Mormons are. Okay, it's going to be moving, genuine, and insightful. This is a unique, powerful tour de force of Christine's journey toward and beyond her time in the spotlight as a sister wife, the description reads. So far, this is a lot of word salad for me, right? Because we want to know, I want the nitty-gritty on Kody's relationship with the kids, Robyn's family, the fights. Obviously, she's got no interest in speaking to Mary, Kody, Robyn. What about like she wasn't particularly that close with Janelle until recent years? Fans can expect to hear about Christine's decision to leave ex-husband Kody Brown in November of 2021, as well as her former sister wives, Mary, Janelle, and Robyn. When does Sister Wives Christine Brown's book come out? Christine's memoir is scheduled to be released on September 16th, 2025. Okay, all good news. Will I be buying the book? 110%. But this is going to address nothing with the real tea that is going on, like Robyn and Kody's home, the lawsuit, because this book is probably already written. It already has a release date. What has Sister Wives Christine Brown said about the memoir? The longtime TLC personality has not yet publicly addressed her new book as of the time of publication. What other books have the Sister Wives Christine Brown published? Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom, is not the first book that Christine has published. She previously wrote the 2013 book, Becoming Sister Wives, the story of an unconventional marriage alongside Kody, Mary, Janelle, and Robyn. Becoming Sister Wives broke down their unique family dynamic and looked at how their polygamous lifestyle offered far from conventional and monogamous relationships. Why did Christine leave Kody? Well, we obviously know their marriage was over. COVID was the nail in the coffin. They were no longer intimate. And Kody was like, you ain't that attractive to me. However, Christine said that the final straw in their relationship was actually when Kody refused to support her daughter Isabel when she underwent corrective surgery for scoliosis. He broke my little girl's heart that day, the mother of 6 told People on August 25th, 2022, referring to Kody's decision not to see a specialist with Isabel and Christine during a September 2020 appointment due to COVID-19 pandemic. I really find it hard to stay with a guy who I don't respect, and that day I lost complete respect for him. So, are you buying the Christine Brown Woolley book? Are you buying it? I mean, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to read it cover to cover. I'm pre-ordering. Simon & Schuster, huge deal. This is a huge advance for Christine. They rich, but I just don't see how this is going to be juicy. I feel like this is going to be more, they're basically telling us, right? This is going to be more about her leaving the Mormon faith. There'll be a little bit about Kody, and I mean, a little bit, I'm kind of angry because they're essentially saying, oh, she's going to tell her story that has never been told before. Well, why ain't it? They're one of the longest running reality shows. They ain't ever told this story before for all of us. All right, let's go to the TikTok lines. Miss SX says yes, she's buying it. Fish Tank says no. Ria says not sure. Lisa says, let's see. Anne says that the people in the Mormon church can be nice, but the church itself is awful. I find that true to be most religions, right? So waiting for Kody and Robyn to ride off into the dust of this reality show. I'm buying it. She has called Kody a deadbeat. She'll spill. I don't think she's going to spill. She's in the middle of a custody lawsuit. I wish. That's the book we want. Yeah, I want to hear about the Mormon faith, but I want the tea on Kody. Yes, I'm buying it. I can't stand Kody is what Heather says. Okay. Well, also, can you guys not stand David Woolley? Because Screen Rant has a story that now fans are sharing mixed opinions on quote unquote pushover David Woolley. amid Christine Brown's home purchase in Moab, their Airbnb. In recent episodes, Christine and David's relationship has come under scrutiny because viewers are finding it difficult to believe that David Woolley is just such a pushover, that he's willing to go along with everything, and all he wants out of the Moab Airbnb is simply a shrimp room. Okay. People are saying, is David Woolley a pushover? And people are saying Christine's attitude in the most recent episode of Sister Wives has made her seem like she's taking control of her relationship with David, making decisions that impact their life together without consulting him. Why is this man going along with this? Or is he just going along with it on TV to seem like he's just friendly and is giving Christine what she wants, but behind the scenes, he has to be having more of an opinion than what he's sharing, right? This is what fans are writing. Although David and Christine are working on their renovation together, it's clear that the pair have had many discussions about what they're going to do. But why isn't David sharing some of that on TV? Why is he just like, yes, a yes man on TV? So do we think that David Woolley is really like that in real life? Or do we think that he just, because a lot of fans are beginning to think like he doesn't want to be disliked. He knows how disliked Kody Brown is. So he is going along with whatever she wants to make it seem as though he's just the great guy. Fish Tank wants to know, are any of them giving money to the kids? I don't think so. I think the kids, I mean, McKelty and Tony are making insane money from their Patreon. They don't work. That is their job. I think all they do is they're probably making 30 or 40 grand a month from Patreon. David supports Christine, and I'm here for that. Christine deserves it all. Gave this family enough of my time and money. Unless someone gets brutally honest about this cult, I'm done. I mean, Danny says people are just too judgmental. David is just super chill, and she's strongly opinionated. It's a great pair. I agree it's a great pair. You know, I never really saw him as a pushover on the show. I see him more as a guy who, I don't know, I feel like he's just like, those details don't interest him. You know what I mean? I think the guy makes plenty of money. I think he does super well. He's had a drywall business for 40 years. I think he's given her the strength to sue Kody. I think he's given her the strength to write a book. I just hope that, you know, they come through with really good stuff. Brandy says that both Tony and McKelty have jobs. What are their jobs? Tell us what their jobs are. What happened to Leon? She was close to Kody. Is she close to Kody and Robyn? I do not believe that Leon is close to Kody and Robyn, but Leon is close with Mary. Leon has a Substack. I don't know if she's kept it up, but she did. They put out a Substack, and they have made it really clear they don't want to be on the show. So that's why you don't see Leon. And Mary said on my podcast, she doesn't talk about Leon a lot because it's such a hot topic because Leon is trans. So people are either super supportive or, you know, very anti-trans. So Mary tries to keep it low key. But Leon is around, and Leon has a Substack and very vocal on social media. Brandy says that McKelty has never disclosed what her job is. Tony is a professional chess player. Okay. Well, Tony, well then basically the Patreon. I mean, please. Miss XM wants to know, who is Leon? Leon is Mary's child, who is now trans, who used to be Mariah. Right? Okay, let me make sure, right? I always forget what Leon's name was prior. Oh my God, you guys know this. Someone correct me. Leon's name, okay, thank you. Yeah, Leon's name was Mariah, and now Leon is Leon. So, but very controversial, and not sure. That's actually a great question about if Leon is close with Kody and Robyn. Wouldn't shock me. I think actually some of the kids do have more of a relationship with Kody and Robyn than they let on. But who the hell would go out and publicize, you know what? I get on great with Kody and Robyn, the two most hated people on reality television. I mean, I would. I don't care. I'm so beyond it. If people care, like if they like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. I always say, if people stop listening, fabulous. I'll go be a stay-at-home mom. Sounds good to me. Okay, so Sister Wives, we know these two stories. We're getting a major tell-all book. quote unquote major. We'll see. And we're going to have a lot more gossip coming out of the Sister Wives world later on, because we know right now Christine and Kody are trying to figure out if they can, through a guardian ad litem, figure out, their custody agreement with Truly and who's going to owe what. So there you go. I am buying the book. I'll be pre-ordering. I can't wait. Doesn't seem to be any resolution with Coyote Pass, but supposedly we're getting more details about Coyote Pass coming this season. We better. Don't tease us. Now, I will say this. They have been true to their word. They said the show was going to catch up in real time. They said, we are going to be getting, I hear from multiple sources, we're going to be getting a Garrison Brown special, and we're getting 26 episodes this season. So the show is going into March, probably April, and then season 20 will be back. Okay, let's move on to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, all the latest, and Colleen Hoover, the author of It Ends With Us, coming for podcasters like myself. Excuse me, Colleen, excuse me. What are you coming for me, bitch? There is a theory going around that Colleen Hoover, there's a lot of theories, right? Okay, one of the biggest theories is Ryan Reynolds. That Ryan Reynolds is a very controlling man, a very jealous man, came on set, looked at the dailies, which essentially is all the video recap of what they filmed that day, came on set during It Ends With Us, didn't like what he saw. The chemistry was like on and popping between these two, and he went irate. And that was the beginning of that Baldoni is inappropriate, that he was making Blake feel inappropriate, all that stuff. Okay. So, and they want to purchase the rights to the remaining books of Colleen Hoover's, the sequel of It Ends With Us, which, by the way, Wayfarer Productions, that is Baldoni's production company, they own. Okay. So a lot of people feel that it's Ryan Reynolds. I got to tell you, the more that this comes out, I think the problem is Colleen Hoover. I think Colleen Hoover is in their ears. This whole thing is a big cluster F. It's a big cluster F. I don't know at this point how Justin and Blake get out of this. I don't, because once you have doubled down on the Me Too movement, okay? You have doubled down. So the only way they get out of this, I think, is like if she gets pregnant again and they can say, okay, she's, we don't want the stress for the baby, or if they were to have some sort of mystery health issue and they're going to step back, they have to find an excuse. They have to be right now working with their law team to figure out how to drop this. Okay. I don't see what evidence this woman has produced. However, maybe they are sitting on things. Maybe they are letting Brian Friedman just dump everything he's got, showing all his cards, and then they're like, oh, we've got a smoking gun. Okay, we'll see. But I think Colleen Hoover, it has a lot more to do with this than what we think. So first of all, many podcasters, TikTokers have discovered that Colleen Hoover, of course, agreed to and sold the rights to It Ends With Us, her book, to Wayfarer Productions. And essentially, Baldoni and his team own It Ends With Us and the sequel except for one thing, there's a morality clause. And so in their deal, that morality clause could basically mean if Baldoni is a sexual harasser, if he's a predator, if he's so toxic on set, then Hoover could get out of her deal with Baldoni and give the rights to Blake Lively and her team, right? And Ryan Reynolds, okay? It is no secret now. There's even a story out that Ryan Reynolds wanted to pay Colleen Hoover whatever amount of money for further rights for her books, all right? But some of her books are already promised to Wayfarer Studios. Okay, very interesting. Colleen Hoover deletes her Instagram recently, but she's very active on other social media outlets, including Facebook. And just yesterday, she decided to post a Facebook where she's essentially blaming people like myself covering this story, essentially saying people like us, get this, this is a woman who's made a fortune off of domestic violence and cheesiness, and went along with the lead actress of It Ends With Us, telling people to wear florals, promoting her booze drinks, her hairline on a domestic violence film, went along with it. Never had any public objections. Now she's coming for people talking about this case, saying that we're all far more interested in views than we are in the actual mental well-being of anybody involved in this case. Excuse me? Okay. So she's on, if you guys want to join the Facebook group, it's called Colleen Hoover's Cohorts. Now, Colleen is in there and posts as herself. This is what she posted yesterday. Because most of you have been with me during my entire 14-year publishing journey, I owe you some promises for our future together. I promise that I can sleep at night with a peaceful heart. I promise I'm okay. I promise I'm happy. I promise my two-person staff of over 10 years still work for me. They would fire me before I fired them. I promise I'm just rotting at home, doing my favorite thing, watching Bravo with a Diet Pepsi at my side and melted chocolate somewhere in my bra. I promise I'll continue to try and be present in here as much as possible, but I honestly don't have social media on my phone at all anymore, and I promise it's bliss. So kindly, don't come back and read this promise too many times. I promise that as long as I still have readers who want to read what I write and readers who want to see film adaptations, and if I have fingers that can type, I will still be trying. Maybe at the speed of a turtle, but I will still be trying. I promise to host more giveaways. Well, we all need a Kindle. She's been giving away Kindles. We definitely need a Kindle during this lawsuit. A guy who may be having his entire reputation destroyed. You know what the most important thing is that we've got the opportunity to win a Kindle. That's huge. Okay, let me just say. I promise to host more giveaways, and I promise to close them out in a timely manner. Thank God. I was worried, am I going to get my Kindle within the month? I promise people care more about the number of clicks on their videos than the mental health of the people they are making videos about. Really? I promise that your kind messages are helping. And I promise I also have the familia support system everyone on this earth deserves to have, the family support system. And finally, I promise to myself that I will let them, ... Okay, what do we all make of Colleen Hoover's statement? What do you make of Colleen Hoover's statement here? I found this to be comical. She's going to let them, but by the way, she promises all of us care more about views. A woman, of course, who's made a fortune off of domestic violence, made a fortune off, never objecting to the fact that her lead actress was fine with promoting florals and cocktails and mocktails about domestic violence. Okay. So I actually liked Colleen Hoover. I just think this is one of the most presumptuous statements. Like, are you even on this planet? I mean, how crazy is that statement? I think Colleen Hoover is a much bigger problem than people think. When you look at things like that she is writing in that Facebook group and continuing to give out Kindles, but she's deleted her Instagram. Somebody said her statement was on par with the quality of her writing. Okay, well, look, I can't write for shit, so I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, well, you know what? Let me write a statement. I can't write. That's why I talk. But I mean, I don't want to rag on Colleen Hoover too badly because we don't know. It's hard to know who is the catalyst behind this. Is it Blake and Ryan? Is Colleen Hoover in the mix? Colleen Hoover's very close with Blake Lively, has been on Team Blake. But I'm just saying, when you read statements like this on this Facebook group, you're like, this now kind of seems like Colleen Hoover's in cahoots. Justin Baldoni is not going to back down. And unless there is a huge smoking gun, I don't see how Baldoni loses this. I don't. I have heard from people who have been at weddings with Justin Baldoni that he's kind to a T, overly sensitive. And unfortunately, I think in this case, I hate the saying, no good deed goes unpunished. I hate that saying because we all do good things for people all the time and it comes back to us. But there are cases where no good deed goes unpunished. And I think in this case, he was just too nice. Does anyone know, though, if Colleen Hoover is giving out more Kindles today? Because I really want to. Can you all alert me when Colleen Hoover is giving out another Kindle? Jamie says, all we care about is the top people don't stomp on others. He needs a defamation lawsuit to them too. Oh, look, I care about this. Don't, Me Too was a huge thing that really propelled women forward in the workplace and gave women an opportunity to no longer tolerate. I grew up in radio and TV. I was never sexually harassed. I had good experiences with men, but you heard it, you were around it, the talk that they got away with, the things that we did, you would never do now. I'm interested in this case because if Blake Lively doesn't come with the proof to prove that this man is a sexual harasser and was, diabolical in a PR campaign to smear her, this is going to set Me Too back a tremendous amount, and it really hurts all women. So this is a very serious case, and there are big, big stakes at line. And Colleen Hoover, who has also used women to propel her career, I hope to God did her due diligence because you know, this is a very serious, okay, this could really set back Me Too for a very, very long time, a very long time. So I hope to God their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed. Same with the New York Times, because I've said if the New York Times loses this case, I am done with mainstream media, and I'll probably become one of those crazy people that makes it my mission to bring mainstream media down. I, I don't have that time. I'm too off doing stuff with my 3-year-old. But Kimber VA says, I do agree, and it ruins her credibility. Look, I've said this. I am actually Team Blake Lively. I pray all this is true. I pray it's all true, because if this isn't true, these two women, Colleen Hoover, Blake Lively, that Sloan chick have really fucked women everywhere. And, I will do a podcast about it. That's what I will do. Will her friendship with Taylor Swift survive? Great segue. We have two more things to cover. Over the past couple of days, you all have probably heard that Taylor Swift's team has announced that Swift is going to be stepping back from her friendship, relationship, and public connection with Blake Lively. A lot of people have a lot of thoughts on this, okay? Obviously, very strategic that this was put out by her team. The singer, 35, was dragged into the explosive legal feud with Lively and Baldoni when he claimed his co-star used Swift to intimidate him at a meeting with her husband, Ryan Reynolds, about edits she had made on the rooftop scene of It Ends With Us. In the $400 million lawsuit filed earlier this month, Baldoni and Swift showed up and says that Swift showed up and made him to feel like he needed to comply with Blake's direction for the script. Lively later appeared to threaten Baldoni by comparing herself to Game of Thrones character Khaleesi and Khaleesi's dragons, meaning Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. The uncool and unnecessary description was reportedly the final straw for Taylor Swift, who had never planned to be at the meeting at all, but arrived at Lively's New York penthouse to find it was ongoing. For the time being, she is taking a step back from Lively because she doesn't want to get tangled in this more than she already has, which is far more than she ever needed to be, an insider has directly told the Daily Mail. I think that's actually true. Her friends also think that Blake's "I'm Khaleesi and like her, I happen to have dragons" text to Justin was uncool and unnecessary because she was essentially used as an intimidation tactic. She was referred to as some kind of pet or possession. Taylor shouldn't be involved in this at all. She was only going over to visit Blake and Ryan with the understanding that the meeting would be over. Do I believe these two are still close and friends? I do for now. A lot of people think that they're definitely still tight. Taylor Swift is the godmother to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' children. Look, all that's good and true for now, but we'll see. We will see. I liked Candace Owens's take that Swift should be subpoenaed. Well, I can tell you right now, right? Swift is not going to want to be subpoenaed, and they are going to do her team, billion-dollar baby here. She's going to do everything she can to not be subpoenaed, okay? And if she is to be subpoenaed, I do think it will be over between Blake Lively and Ryan, because friendships they're always good until they're not. You know what I'm saying? So, I think they're still friends. But I do think, Taylor, you're not going to see her in public with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. I think Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are going to appear in public because they want everything to appear like we're on the right side of history, right? And that's what Baldoni's doing. He's got his shirt off in Hawaii. He's taking pictures. Now, people are telling me in the TikTok uh, the TikTok lines, people are saying there's a different article in E saying that's misinformation. Okay, tell us about this article in E. So is it on enews.com? Is that where it is, or Entertainment Weekly? What is E? And what does the article say is misinformation? That Taylor is not backing out of the friendship? Please definitely hop in the comments and tell us, because we want to know this. I don't believe that they are not friends anymore. And I believe that Taylor Swift is probably stepping back solely for an image and solely because she wants to avoid being subpoenaed in this case whatsoever. Okay. Obviously, she has a huge reputation. I got a big reputation. Uh, she's a master here of keeping herself likable to everybody. Except she told everyone to vote for Kamala and no one did. But minus that, she's really got a lot of pull. So I think she really wants to not be seen with them lay low. However, I believe they're friends for now, but this could go south. It's being reported that Taylor has invited Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds to the Super Bowl. Let me find it. Yes, it said that they were still friends and stands by her. I read it twice. I agree. I agree. I think they are still friends for now. And I had said too, I think Taylor, at first I had said that I thought Taylor and Ryan would go to the Super Bowl with Taylor Swift, but I'm not sure now. Someone says no, Taylor pulled out. Taylor pulled out of what? The Super Bowl? I think it's a little complex. I think that Taylor's going to stand by them. She's the godmother of their kids. Everything's good, but it's going to be low key. It's going to be offline for a bit. It's just going to be offline. She doesn't want to be subpoenaed, and Taylor Swift's legal team is going to do everything possible to stay out of this, I believe. Okay. Love your eye makeup, Helen says. Okay, well, thank you, Helen. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Helen. All right, let's go down let's do the last story here too. Because next week will be actually there's two quick stories I want to hit. Next week is going to be a very big week in the Baldoni Blake Lively case because Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's legal team, as well as Sloan, who is, the PR rep who's also in it, are asking a judge to throw out the $400 million lawsuit. So this will tell us a lot, okay? This will tell us a lot next week. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds on Thursday expressed their intention to ask a federal court to drop a lawsuit filed earlier this month by It Ends With Us director Justin Baldoni. The Lively Reynolds parties intend to move to dismiss plaintiff's complaint. An attorney for the Hollywood power couple, Michael Gottlieb, told the judge Louis Lyman in a letter. Variety has reported this yesterday after reviewing legal documents in the case. Judge Lyman had previously requested the lawyers to send a written notice to indicate in one sentence the defendant's intent to make a motion to dismiss. The judge is expected to schedule a deadline date for them to submit paperwork in the request. Lively and Reynolds' publicist, Leslie Sloan, who Baldoni, also named in his lawsuit as a defendant on Wednesday, submit a similar statement to the court. So she's also going to ask for it to be thrown out. The legal request, of course, comes as the first hearing in the lawsuits between the collaborators on the summer hit, It Ends With Us, commence on Monday, February 3rd with a pretrial conference. Conference was pushed up from an initial date of February 12th, according to Variety, ahead of a trial with a starting date of March 9th, 2026. Lawyers for both parties were in accordance with a plan to compound both federal cases filed into one moving forward, the outlet reported. And Lively and Reynolds' legal team has been asking the court to sanction Brian Friedman, Baldoni's attorney, with a gag order. Not going to happen. Friedman this month has spoken about the case on shows like Megyn Kelly, Chris Cuomo, and more. Among the issues on hand in relation to Friedman, including putting together a website which is going to show in integral detail evidence that proves that Justin Baldoni never sexually harassed Blake Lively. Lawyers for Lively and Reynolds on Monday said Friedman had been engaging in this extrajudicial campaign to influence these proceedings. Okay. We will see on that. Friedman also, apparently, according to attorneys, Blake Lively does not want to be deposed by Brian Friedman. I don't know who makes that choice. That would be so interesting. And why? I thought you got nothing to hide, girl. Mm-mm. So we shall see. If this is not dismissed, they must believe that there's evidence. I mean, not that I'm a lawyer. I mean, you guys are all smarter than I am. Somebody says it's on page 6 that they're still besties, dated January 29th. Okay, so a news story out. Some of you guys on the TikTok lines are saying that page 6 is reporting that Taylor and Blake are still good friends. Someone says Taylor's next new song will be about her being a dragon. You wait and see. LOL. So there you have it. Okay. Lastly, a friend of Justin Baldoni's and his wife. This is what I'm telling you. Where are these stories about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds? Where are their friends coming out in their defense? But on Thursday, John Kim, aka the Angry Therapist, took to Instagram to reveal that Baldoni and his wife Emily offered up their home to his family after they lost their house in the Altadena fires. Wow. And it wasn't only his family the couple helped. They also let another family join John at their place. The Angry Therapist podcast host wrote about how lost his family was after losing their home. In the first 6 days, we slept in 5 different beds, hopping around hotels and Airbnbs. Then I got a text from Justin Baldoni and Emily offering their home to us. I don't know them that well, so I declined. It didn't feel comfortable. However, Justin insisted John and his family stay at their residence since he, Emily, and their 2 children were going away to Hawaii to get away from the shitstorm, which is this lawsuit. So there you have it. And Justin helped us breathe again and have a little sigh of relief. So all these stories coming out, I'm just waiting for, where are the ones about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds? Come on. Instead, we get people from Blake Lively's high school. Basically, I don't know, say she's a mean girl. I hate piling up on Blake Lively. Maybe she's great. Maybe she's great, but what is going on with Colleen Hoover? What is going on? One with Colleen Hoover's Kindle giveaways. Please tag me when she's giving out more. I really want one. And I don't know, like, why is this woman who's made money off of women, domestic violence, and like all this other shit coming for podcasters and TikTok people? Okay, girl. Okay. Let's see. Did you see they did same solo red carpet walk to Ryan Reynolds co-star? Look, nothing would shock me. I love all the theories that are going around. I believe the one about Ryan Reynolds being the leader of this. I don't believe Ryan and Blake are going to get divorced. I think they're 2 peas in a pod. I do. And for now, I believe Taylor Swift is her friend. But I think Taylor will do what's best for her career and will do what's best for Taylor. I did like Candace Owens' hot take too, that like Taylor Swift is always the victim, like in every scenario. I love it. If you got a friend like that, like a victim friend, no matter what, they're always wrong. It does seem like that's Taylor Swift, only she's built $1 billion business out of being the victim. But I like my Tay-Tay. She's an awesome performer. She's unbelievable. Why was Colleen Hoover talking about book rights in an interview with Blake? Fair enough. Fair enough. Like I said at the start of this podcast, I believe Colleen Hoover is a big, big problem in this. A very big problem. And why is Colleen Hoover deleting Instagram but all over Facebook? That to me says right there's something on Instagram you don't want people to see, but you ain't got that same paper trail on Facebook. There was a morality clause. Absolutely. We talked about that at the start of this podcast. A lot of people believe there is a morality clause with the future rights to the sequels of It Ends With Us. And if Colleen Hoover, or not Colleen Hoover, but if Justin Baldoni is accused of something that's not moral, she could get those rights back and then, of course, sell them to Blake and Ryan. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like I said, I'm hearing from a lot of people that know Baldoni or went to weddings with him or events, and people feel if anything, he's like a little too sensitive, very, but very kind. All right. Well, you know what? Please, my DMs and email are open. Are you good friends with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively? Tell me positive things about them. Okay. Bye, everybody. And oh, wait a minute. What am I talking about? My podcast courses. By the way, if this whole Baldoni situation, you're probably far more detailed than I am. I just have a good time and I love to talk bullshit. But maybe you've always thought about launching your own podcast. It's time. I have 3 podcast courses, one starting at $9. Go to gobigpodcasting.com. By the way, I think today is actually the final day to take advantage of the 20% off. You can use TikTok 20 to get 20% off any of my courses, or I consult one-on-one. Would love to consult with you. I'll tell you how to make money podcasting, how to launch, but definitely you need to have your voice heard if you are, if you're an executive, if you are in leadership, if you are a person that always has dreamt of starting a career in podcast. It is the most powerful form. It's so powerful. You have people like Colleen Hoover, they're threatened by it. That should tell you everything. Now's the time to launch your podcast, and TikTok will probably go away. GoBigPodcasting.com. You can reach out to me direct if you'd like to consult one-on-one and skip the course, The Sarah Fraser Show at gmail.com. All right. Bye, everybody.